Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another monthly Heart to Heart. It's Less Leg, More Hearts peer virtual support group that we run the second Thursday of every month at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring on health and wellness experts or folks that are versed in amputee related topics and resources and goods and services and anything that helps living with limb loss a little less tricky and sticky and icky. And we have an incredible segment lined up today and tons of interest. We had a couple folks that reached out and really wanted to be here, and we're like so excited we were recording to put it online because hypnotherapy is like this elusive thing that not a lot of people have tried. Zach, have you tried it? Oh, we got it. We got a thing Zach hasn't tried. All right. Well, I wanted to introduce you guys to our co-host for today and our educator, Bruce Philie. He's a certified hypnotherapist, and he holds certifications in several forms of meditations, including mindfulness and breath work. He's passionate about helping people improve their well-being and teaching skills that they can work on their own. His journey actually began when someone close to him faced a challenging period in their life. Traditional therapy and medications just had little effect and provided little in the form of relief. So after various methods were tried over the course of years, it wasn't really until hypnosis and meditation that noticeable and lasting results were found. Bruce maintains a daily practice of meditation and continues to improve his hypnosis methods by continuing his studies to learn the latest and most effective techniques. He's really passionate about helping people with anxiety, depression, and pain management. And boy, I can tell you that is a hot topic in this crowd. So we are so happy and eager to welcome you. Bruce, thank you so much for being here to lend your time and your talent.
Oh, thank you so much, Tina. I really appreciate being here. It's good to see all of you. I'm going to share my screen. I know some people have small screens, but if it gets too annoying, let me know, and I can just talk to you and kind of reference the screen. So let me give this a shot here. It says screen 2. Can everyone see that okay? All right,
Yes, we can see it.
awesome, guys. So yeah, my name is Bruce Philie. I live in New Hampshire, Northeast. But the good news is with hypnosis is you can do it over Zoom. So there is no distance that can stop me from helping you. I want to thank you guys for all being here. I really do appreciate it. And I'm glad to see all of you. I'm with silencestop.com. If you guys need to get a hold of me, you can see on the screen right now that's my email address below. And you can find me on, the usuals, Facebook and Instagram, and either my name or silencestop.com, and we can chat. No problem there. So yeah, Tina kind of gave the quick overview. And I just want to say that I'm going to give you guys my story. I've got the okay to pass it on, so that's good. But honestly, the thing is, I'm going to give you my story and how I got into this and why I keep doing it. But I got to tell you guys, I've had a chance to already talk to a few amputees already, and something that I've noticed is, my gosh, you guys all have incredible stories. You guys, you're each one of you is your own kind of Rocky. So I really appreciate that. And I would love to hear some of your stories. I really hope that in the future I get to meet you guys and listen to those stories, because it really does mean a lot to me. And so yeah, with that, I'll pass on my story because I do feel that it's important to let you know why I do this. First of all, I do have a full-time job. Hypnosis is not my full-time job. A lot of hypnotists do not make a lot of money. So for me, I do this because I legitimately, and maybe it sounds cliche, I really do enjoy helping people. And I think my story will kind of make clear why I do this. So, yeah, I originally started with hypnosis with my sister back when she was, and she didn't have a problem. It was just back in my teenage years. I think it might even been during grade school. I went in the library and I found a hypnosis book. This is before YouTube and everything. And I would do hypnosis on her and kind of, I didn't read most of the book. I just wanted to know how to get her into this hypnosis thing and play tricks on her and whatever. And we kind of did it off and on, but it did fade away. And it didn't come back to me until my adult life. And the reason why was, this is where the personal story comes in. My wife her family has depression. They've had, different varying levels of depression. For her, it affected her greatly. And I don't have depression. I'm one of those people that can usually pick myself up out of a hole pretty quickly. And so I didn't understand that. And, trying to understand when somebody doesn't have that feeling, trying to understand something like that is a real challenge. It's almost like phantom limb pain, right? How many of you guys have tried to explain to someone, I've got a pain on something that doesn't exist anymore? And nobody can understand that. It's the same thing with depression. I couldn't help my wife. I didn't know what to do. And I love her dearly. Um, and I'm going to try not to get emotional in this, guys, but I'm going to tell you that it hurts when you can't help somebody that needs your help, right? So, so ultimately, what happened is we kind of went down the traditional route of course, talk therapy and medications, and so that was the route. And I admit that for a lot of people, and for those people that stuff works for, that is freaking awesome. Good for you guys. For us, um, the medications seemed like they were working occasionally. But the problem that we were having was she was kind of turning into a zombie. She was going through the day, but she wasn't feeling emotions anymore. And we have two kids, and of course, I'm her husband, and we love each other. And at one point, I noticed that it just seemed like she was detached from everything. And so, um, yeah, it was a challenge, but I didn't want to tell her to stop taking the drugs because she'd faced so much. She's a fighter, guys. She's a fighter, and she didn't go that route until she absolutely thought she had to. And so I didn't want to say, hey, you look different. But she ended up realizing it herself, and she said, I've got to get off these drugs because you guys, you know, what's the use of having a family if you can't feel them, right? The family is all about feeling. And so that led us down this road of kind of working to find a path that was different than drugs and standard therapy. And I'm going to cut this story a little bit short here because we tried a lot of things, right? There is a lot of alternative stuff out there. And who doesn't Google and look for these unique applications to things? Well, eventually I came back to the hypnosis thing. I can't remember where or why I decided to pick it back up again, but I started to study. I'm one of those guys that I don't want to try something on her and get it wrong. If it's going to work, I need to know it. And for me, I didn't want to have someone else do it to her because I didn't like the idea of someone just checking boxes and saying, you're done and good luck. For me, this is very personal. And I studied with people in New Hampshire. I studied with courses online, did more reading. Um, and I kept working through this. And eventually, there was a point, right? A lot of times for us, depression kind of comes in waves. All of a sudden it hits you and you're stuck there. And then it kind of slowly kind of fades way back to normality. And then it comes back again. Well, we got to a point where she had reached one of these dark holes in her life. And she said, I'm there. And the thing is, if you deal with someone with depression every day, you recognize it. It's a painting that you can see. And so I said, okay, look, I think I could do this. I've done as much learning as I can do. Are you willing to try it? And she did. And guys, I took her through the session. And like I said, someone that goes through a deep, dark depression, you can recognize it on their face. She went into hypnosis with this specter about her. And when she came out of it, I could see the gears working in her head. It was I still remember it to this day. She was looking down at the ground and she was just kind of processing it. I call it integration now, right? Because it's like that where you're trying to figure out what just happened. And we got out of it. And I didn't say anything for a day, for a couple of weeks. I was kind of terrified to ask her because I didn't want to find out that I failed. And 2 months went by. And I said, hey, the depression, you never brought it up again. I knew that, like I said, that picture of that depression wasn't around her anymore, but I still was afraid to ask. And she said, I haven't even, oh guys, I'm telling you, she said, I hadn't even thought about it since that day. And yeah, gets me every time, guys, gets me every time. So, the thing is with depression though, or a lot of things in life, you keep getting battered and every day is not a high day. I will say that I think 2, maybe 3 months down the road, she did say it's kind of back again. And I didn't want to say, hey, let's do hypnosis. I wanted her to be okay with it. And she said, okay, let's do that. Or she said, yeah, I'd like to do hypnosis because there's no side effects to it. That's the beautiful thing. If it doesn't work, it didn't work. Well, for her, guys, it's the same thing. She came out of it. And again, I saw the gears turning in her head. I didn't wait 3 weeks this time. The next day I said, hey, how are you feeling? And she told me that she said she felt great, hadn't even come back into her mind. And so, guys, that was just about a year ago. And she hasn't had that struggle and that darkness again. And I recognize people going through times where they feel like there's no hope. And I won't say that hypnosis works for everybody, but if it does, my gosh, that's great, guys. Um, so that's kind of the story. Again, you're not always on rainbows. You're gonna have difficult times. Every human does, but if you can stay out of that hole, if you're not in that abyss, that's amazing. Um, so that's that story. And now I guess I'll kind of get into the meat of hypnosis if you guys are ready. And thank you for listening to that. I really do appreciate that, guys. So on my screen here, yeah, silentsummit.com. What is hypnosis? If you ask, I think if you ask 100 different people, whether it's doctors or practicing hypnoticians, hypnotherapists, they come up with a lot of different ideas. But to me, this is very simple. It takes all of this magic and mysticism out of it because it's not magic. Hypnosis is very natural. So hypnosis is a state of focused attention in which people can be more responsive to suggestion. Um, when you're in this super focused spot, it allows you to look at problems kind of outside the normal window. When you're in a negative thought loop, it's a negative thought loop. You keep going over and over the same path. Where hypnosis kind of takes you out of that and lets you see things different ways. And I think that's really great. And again, it doesn't work for everybody, but and not everybody can be hypnotized. But for those that you can, it doesn't take a powerful trance to affect change. Um, I like to put this up there I mean, there are hundreds of celebrities that have gone through hypnosis. Tiger Woods, he used it for his golf game. Sylvester Stallone actually used hypnosis because he needed a script. He was out of money, and voila, he worked with a hypnotist and he came up with Rocky. And then he used it for playing the part of Rocky. Kevin Costner was afraid of water, seasickness, I believe, actually. Albert Einstein used to self-hypnosis every day. And supposedly that's where he came up with the theory of relativity. Matt Damon couldn't stop smoking, used as hypnotist. I mean, there is example after example of people being hypnotized. All right. So for some of you guys, it doesn't matter. You think of hypnosis as woo. Just curious, do any of you guys out there just believe it's fake? Doesn't matter what I say? All right, cool. I appreciate that because there are people out there that are very skeptical. I don't blame them. It almost seems very strange. And you can see up here in the upper right, I put down some examples of trance. You drive all the time and you just get to places and you don't realize how you got there. You watch movies and 3 hours are gone just like that. If you read and you're a person that starts to cry at the good parts or even during a movie, you guys have been in a trance. And here's the big one, placebo. Placebo is very interesting to me. Did you know that that it does, placebo is a growing thing. Right below you can see there, right? I went to science.org and it's not just there, it's everywhere. It just says that basically the effects of placebo are getting stronger. People are falling into trance easier. If somebody with a suit that looks like a doctor gives you a pill and says it will help you, there's a lot of people, almost 50% of those people will get better. There used to, TV commercials used to use people that were dressed up as doctors. And that alone was enough to make a person believe that what they were being suggested was true. Now, maybe some of you guys have heard about this phenelphrin. I'm going to probably say that wrong and you guys can laugh at me. That's fine. But it's a popular nasal decongestion. Just last month, the FDA came out and said they can't sell it anymore because it doesn't work. Now, how many of you guys have packs of Sudafed or Vicks or Dayquil or Benadryl in your closet because you needed to clear your nose? I mean, it doesn't work. It's just a placebo. I mean, so I find that really interesting if you think about it. It just takes the right kind of trance and people will get better. Does anybody have any questions so far? I don't see any hands up, but all right, good. So is it safe? These are just a few of the common things that I see. People ask, what happens if I get stuck in hypnosis? If you're one of those people that is very susceptible to trance, and my daughter called me away and I walked outside and I forgot to come back, you would just wake up. You would just come out of trance eventually. And you'd probably be relaxed and feel pretty good, actually. It's not mind control. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. I mean, there are ways where maybe I could make you, if you've been to a stage show, you've probably seen some pretty weird things. Okay. But ultimately, I can't make you just go somewhere and do something. It's got to be something that you kind of want to do. Um, is it evil? I put this up here because you'd be surprised how many people are religious and say my pastor or my religious person says that it's not right. And again, I think a lot of religious pastors are good at putting people in trance in general. So just something to think about. Will I be asleep? This is a good one. The answer to this is you won't be asleep. Your conscious mind is more upfront. It's very inquisitive and saying, what's going on here? And so in hypnosis, your conscious mind doesn't just go away. It's actually paying super focused attention. And the good part is your subconscious mind is also listening. Your subconscious mind is the part that protects you and learns all those background tasks that your conscious mind just can't do because it's kind of weak actually. So your subconscious is what it's all about. Can everyone be hypnotized? So even though everybody has been in a form of trance, again, TV is a very powerful trance inducer. I can't make anybody go into trance that doesn't want to be. All you have to do is say, look at it very inquisitively instead of kind of allowing yourself to fall into it. And your brain will kind of shut you out of this trance. And so sometimes people just don't trust other people talking to them or bringing them into a state. And when that happens, there's no way for me to just trick you into it. So people that are usually easily hypnotizable are people with strong imaginations, people geez, I didn't do a good job there, have been through a strong stress or traumatic event, and people with high intelligence. So those are generally the people that do very well or go deeper into trance. And again, it's not even a matter of how deep you go into trance. If you go in just a little bit, a lot of times change will happen for you. There are parts of hypnosis that you need to be a person to go into a deep trance, but that's a lot of people don't need to go that far. All right, so how can I help? So I took a course with a person called Ron Esslinger. He was an officer in the Navy back in the 1970s. He actually, I think he was an officer from the 1970s all the way up until, I mean, they kicked him out because he was past his age limit. While he was doing a nurse practitioner there, he decided to pick up a course in hypnotherapy. And so he would basically, not everybody likes to go to the dentist. And so he would work with people so that way they could go, wouldn't feel pain when they went to the dentist. They could just bypass the shot, be put into a trance, and they could have their mouths worked on. In some cases, he would be the first person on the scene, and he could allow them to not feel pain until medical aid could arrive. He was actually deployed in the original Gulf War, where he was part of a trauma unit, I believe, where he would help people on the spot. And then eventually he came back and he continued his practice where he would work with amputees, and he'd work with hundreds of amputees. And, from his own mouth, almost everybody will feel some form of relief. Most people will feel a good amount of relief, and then a very few amount of people will feel total relief. Now that tells you that there's a big window there of people that will have different effects or feel the effects differently. So just curious, have any of you out there been in a hypnosis session before? Okay,
I do trance, but it's a different way. I'm a medium, so I do trance mediumship where you get your brain. It's like meditation.
Oh, that is perfect. So yeah, you've probably know. So people that do a lot of meditation, and I've worked actually with other people that do kind of that type of trance work, and they go into hypnosis very easily. They've already trained their minds to do it. Yeah, good for you. All right, so anyway, I took the class that I took with Ron. He basically gave me all the steps and procedures to work with amputees, so that way, basically his methodology or his method of thinking was that basically the brain, the amygdala is always looking to take care of your body. And so when it sees a traumatic response, it thinks, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Candace. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
You're on mute, Candace.
Okay. Yes, I'm on phantom pain real bad. And, I do take medication for it, but sometimes it can be so unbearable sometimes. So, I don't know what else to do. I'm on gabapentin,
Mm.
800 milligrams of that. So I don't know.
Have you tried CBD cream? It helped me a lot.
I haven't.
Give it a try if you want. It helped me a lot because I was having phantom pains and itches.
Yeah, I have that bad too. Real bad itching. If it ain't itching, it's
Maddening.
pain. If it
And you
ain't
can never,
itching, it's paining.
you can
So
never scratch it.
what we'll do, ladies, is we'll see what he has to say about the phantom stuff that he's bringing up, and see what we
Mhm.
can, and then we can also open it up to discussion after the presentation, and we can add these tips and tricks because they're so important. Thank you, guys.
Sounds good, Miss Tina. Thank you.
So Candace, I appreciate that. I mean, I think you guys are a peer group, so you probably know this already, but it's not uncommon for there are people that go with phantom limb pain that have to go to the emergency room because they feel the pain so bad. And it's not uncommon. You're not a lone individual with that experience. But the good news is for some people, yes, hypnosis can help that. And the idea here, what Ron was saying was that, his belief was that, when you go through this traumatic event and you're right up to the point where you have to lose the limb or whatever it is, right? Your brain thinks there's a major event going on there. And so the idea is that the amygdala doesn't ever get that response back later on to say, hey, I'm fixed, I'm healed. And so it just keeps trying to send out those, because pain is what signals the brain to say, okay, keep fixing this. And so with hypnosis, you can kind of work your way around that and let the brain, your subconscious, know that that this body part is healed. It's okay to accept it for the way it is now, and kind of train the brain to realize that the issue is no longer an issue. It's okay to move forward. So that's kind of the idea behind this. And it usually takes about 4 sessions. Generally, there are some hypnotherapists that literally do hundreds, but you'll know definitely. You'll probably know even after the first session whether it's working for you. Definitely, by the time you get to 4, you're if it doesn't work by 4, it's not going to work. And again, I would say that generally after the first session, if you're like, you know what, it didn't work, then you'll probably kind of know. I generally like to say 2 sessions, because sometimes people are very skeptical and they don't know how to feel in that first session. And then when they do the second session of hypnosis, they get to that point where they're more relaxed and willing to start focusing on the subjects that we're working on. Yeah. All right, so I'm at the end here. On the screen, you can kind of see my website and my email. My website is off and on again because, like I said, I have a full-time job. It takes me a while to fix that thing, but you can definitely reach me on Facebook and Instagram. And guys, what I'd like to do is, if you're willing, do a group hypnosis session with you guys. And here's the deal: if you decide that even if it doesn't work for you, here's the great part about this. I'm using a meditation that's mixed into it as well. That's very good for a person understanding their body. And so at the bare minimum here, let's say you get nothing out of this, and I'll say this as well: most people don't even realize they're in a hypnosis, because that conscious part of the brain is always ticking. But at the very least, if nothing you get out of this is more than just a nice meditation for it to relax you, make you feel good, you didn't lose anything today. And that's awesome. And if you don't want to go into hypnosis, just don't close your eyes and don't listen necessarily what I say. You can watch the TV screen and all that stuff, but just don't go through the breathing cycles that I'm going to put you through. Don't close your eyes. Just stay focused. Like you have a curious attitude rather than one of a willingness, imagination. So with that being said, if you guys are driving right now, I don't recommend driving while we do this. You guys have had enough already. So with that being said, if you guys are ready to do this, this works best if you're, in a quiet area, especially the first time. And if you just kind of, just kind of go into this again, like with an imaginative attitude. Okay. And just kind of take it for what it is and just listen to my words. Are you guys all set with that? Are you ready to go? All right, awesome. So I would say this, if you can, it's usually pretty, uncross your legs and have both legs touching the ground.
If
Well,
you have both legs.
hey, sorry about that, guys. This is not the first time that's happened to me either. So I apologize.
Would this count as putting my foot down then?
All right, do the best you can.
We only have one leg, well, 1.5 leg.
This is going great already. All right. I apologize. As you can imagine, I work with a lot more people that have two legs.
Mhm.
All right. Do the best you can and sit comfortably wherever you're at. And what I'm going to do first is actually, I want you to take both hands, take your hand, whatever you have, take your lips, and I want you to make a fist and kind of squeeze hard and just feel the tension that's there, okay? And then breathe out. And as you do, just kind of feel that relaxation and just kind of examine that relaxation and the feeling of that stress from holding tight, just kind of letting go and just recognize how you already feel less stressed. All right. Now that you know how that is, you can let go. Yep, go ahead. If you haven't already, just let your hands go. And now what I want you to do is take a 4-second breath in and hold it at the top. And then let it out nice and slow through the mouth. All right, and we're going to do that one more time. So slow breath in through the nose. And let it out. Now you may have already noticed a change in your body as you begin to relax. And that's a good thing. Now what I'd like you to do is take both hands and put it over your heart. And if you haven't done this already, go ahead and close your eyes. Now, what I'd like you to do, now just listen to the instructions here for a second. I'm going to ask you in a moment to breathe in. And as you breathe in, when you get to the top of your breath, I want you to look, with your eyes closed, look almost in the middle of your eyebrows and then above them. That's at the top of your breath. And then I'm going to ask you to let it go. And then as you let it go, just let your eyes relax and feel that relaxation in your head. All right, so we're about to start. So go ahead and breathe in now, looking up between your eyebrows and above them. And breathe out slow. That's perfect. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to breathe in, but almost imagine as you're breathing in through your nose that you're feeling the air come in through your eyes. And feel that sensation of the air coming in through your eyes. And as you look up towards the top of your breath, hold it. Now breathe out. And as you breathe out, feel that energy directed into your hands, that heart, that love, and feel that sensation as you float deeper into yourself, now going down, deeper down. That's right. And now one more time, take a breath in, breathing in through your eyes looking towards the top of your head. And as you hold it, let it go and find yourself drifting down, deeper down, deeper down, allowing yourself to float deeper into yourself with a sense of relaxation and calmness, and just follow my words. And now we're going to do one more breath in, again, breathing in through your eyes, looking towards the top of your head, holding it, and breathe out gratitude and comfort into your hands. Feel that flow into your heart. Feel that energy as it goes into your hands. And now just breathe normal. And realize that every time you breathe normal, every breath out starts to cause you to fall deeper into yourself, more relaxed, just focusing on my words. And every breath out allows you to go even deeper now. And while you think that you've reached as deep as you can go, your subconscious mind knows that you can go twice as deep now. And maybe you can feel that sensation between your hands and your heart of love and gratitude. Let that sensation increase and feel it as it warms your entire body with kindness and gentleness and love. And every breath takes you deeper down now, further down into yourself, into a space of warm, comfortable floating. And just follow my voice. While you're here, I want you to let an image form in your mind's eye. Let it be the most magnificent, beautiful mountain that you can imagine. Let it gradually come into greater focus. And even if it's not an image, I want you to feel the magnitude of this mountain, the beauty of it, the greatness of it. Just allow that sense of that mountain, that image, to come deeper into focus. Start to see its overall shape. Maybe it has a lofty peak. Maybe it has several peaks. See how high they go into the sky. I want you to notice the large base rooted in the bedrock of the earth. Maybe your mountain has steep sides. Maybe some are gentle sloping sides. Just notice how massive it is, how solid this mountain is, how unmoving, how beautiful. Whether you're far away or up close, this mountain is a tremendous, beautiful thing to see. Perhaps your mountain has snow blanketing its tops. Maybe it has trees that reach all the way down to the base. Maybe it has some rugged granite sides. There may be streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes. Maybe your mountain has secluded meadows or high lakes. As the mountain sits, see or feel how the night follows the day and how the day follows the night. The bright warming sun followed by the cool night sky studded with stars, and the gradual dawning of a new day. Recognize that through it all, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, it always being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another. And as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abides all change. In the summer, there is no snow except perhaps for the very peaks of crags shielded from the direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a brilliant coat of colors. In the winter, there may be a blanket of snow and ice. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains the same at all times, as it stays its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like this mountain, or they may not. Seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night, the mountain just sits being itself. At times, visited by violent storms, or buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude. Through it all, the mountain sits. When spring comes, the trees leaf out. Flowers bloom in the high meadows and slopes. Birds sing in the trees once again. Streams overflow with the waters of the melting snow. I want you to imagine one of these streams right now. It's on a beautiful area of this mountain. You can easily get to it, sitting on its banks, sitting there on the edge. Just let the feeling of the sun, of this amazing day on your skin, just feel that, and let that sense of kindness and greatness and wonderfulness of this perfect moment to just fill you completely. And as you look at the water, I want you to recognize that this is a gift from the mountain to you. This water will fill you with its healing abilities for your spirit. Maybe what you need is confidence. Maybe what you need is hope. I don't know what the special gift is of the mountain. But whatever it is for you, it's exactly what you need. As you cup your hands and prepare to drink from the water, I want you to feel the sense of honor for being here at this perfect moment and receiving this gift. Maybe it's a feeling, or maybe you hear the silent words of the mountain on the wind, but recognize that you must be ready to take this water. You cannot just drink it without thought. And once you're ready to accept this gift, I'm going to give you just a moment to think about it. See the importance of it. Just imagine how lucky you are to be here right now. Again, just such an amazing moment for you to be here and now to accept this gift from the mountain's water. As you bring the water to your mouth, as you pick it up with your hands, say thank you. And I want you to drink this water, feeling it on your tongue. Maybe it's cool. Whatever the temperature is, it's just right for you. I want you to feel the sensation from the water as it goes down into your stomach. And focus on that sensation. How does it feel? Is there a tingling? Can you already feel its nourishing power going throughout your body? What you may start to notice is that the feeling starts to increase, and it grows further and further out, reaching every part of your body. It's increasing and intensifying, filling you with life, filling you with love, and filling you with happiness. The sensation continues to travel around your body, reaching every single part, including the muscles in your face. I want you to feel those muscles in your face right now. Maybe you start to notice the happiness that it brings to you. Maybe you can start to feel a smile coming to your face as the gratitude reaches deep inside you. Maybe you can feel all those healing powers right now as the mountain, as nature, as everything smiles back at you and you smile towards it. This feeling is a true gift, and you can feel it deep inside. Just enjoy this moment and recognize the gratitude in every part of it. Now, after you fully accept this gift, I want you to realize that you can come back to this moment at any time. Just imagine yourself at this stream, at this special spot on the mountain. and allow the gift to once again renew your spirit. Take a good look around. Notice everything there is. Maybe there's flowers. Maybe there's trees. Maybe the sun's just right. Say thank you to the mountain. Say thank you to the river. And now I want you to start floating to a spot that you can once again see the entire mountain. And once you can see the entire mountain, recognize once again how, despite all the changes, the mountain always remains the same. I want you to take in, just imagine yourself taking in all those special powers of the mountain, bringing it into yourself, and recognizing yourself as the mountain. Always remaining yourself, beautiful, facing every changing moment. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I reach the number 5, you'll come back to the here and now. 1, remembering the gift of the mountain stream that is with you forever. 2, remembering that you are the mountain, able to face any changes that come your way. 3, feeling that deep sense of gratitude, a deep sense of love, and holding it with you because you're a very special person. 4, almost back. And 5, back to the here now, opening your eyes when you're ready. And maybe still feeling that sense of the amazing trip you've just been through. All right, guys. So I don't know if everyone had a chance to experience anything in that. You know, we tried to make that kind of for everybody. It's usually a little easier when you're working one-on-one, but I'm curious to see if anyone got anything out of that. Did it work for them? Did it feel good?
Yeah, it was relaxing.
I don't think I've ever been so relaxed. It was awesome.
Ah, good. That's great news.
Same, Bruce. I would think I was leaning over at one point, like to stay erect. Anyone else? It was awesome. Really, really beautiful.
Hey guys,
Yeah, it was relaxing.
that's really great to hear. I'm glad that, you know, that hopefully you got something good out of tonight. And that's really the key. If you guys can walk away with this with something to feel good, that's awesome.
I found it very connecting to the elements of the natural world, of the seasons. And I know when you mentioned the day and then the night, that got me thinking just about the cycles, and kind of makes my problems not as significant when you're looking at nature, you know?
Oh, guys,
You know, it's interesting too, Bruce. I don't always have such a spectacular jazz voice, but right now I happen to have a really exciting daycare illness my son shared with me, and part of that beauty is recurrent coughing. And I think I've coughed every 30 seconds to a minute all day. I can cough one time. That's pretty wild. Do you see that kind of thing happen for people with symptoms like that?
so I've seen things where people will get so far into a trance that they will not move their head. And when they get out, they're saying, I would have loved to have been able to move my head through that. So everyone goes through it differently. It's very unique. And you know, you never know what your own mind will decide you need. And so it's cool.
Yes, it was relaxing.
That's great to hear.
I just spread my parents' ashes in July in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, Wolf Creek Pass, in this beautiful mountain. And we were at like 8,000 feet elevation at the top of this mountain, and we let the ashes go, and it was like down into this valley. And so I was that mountain in that valley. And it was so cool because I felt like my parents just overtaking me over. It was amazing.
Wow, thank you for sharing. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're really good. Do you have these on YouTube?
So I haven't started YouTube yet. I should give some credit here. So again, I wanted to be able to share something where for those of people that weren't able to go into deep hypnosis, at the very least experience a meditation. And so if you're interested in the full meditation, the way it's properly supposed to be given, because I did edit it a little bit, that comes from a person named John Kabat-Zinn. And he's a Buddhist monk who actually started the mindfulness program in the United States. And so it's called The Mountain, and you can find that on YouTube. So guys, I want to say again, like I really appreciate it. I know I'm creeping up on the hour here. I was terrified that I would go over your time, and I want to respect that. Just real quick, I want to let you guys know that you can reach me at those at the numbers that I provided there, and I can send out the slide deck to use that to those of you that are interested. And again, you can reach out to me on those the sites. I will be doing a thing in November. I can bring it up on the screen right here. I'll try to make it quick for you guys. If you're
What's
interested,
your website again?
yeah, so the website's gonna be hard to get to right now because it's been up and down. But you can definitely find me on Instagram and Facebook, Silent Summit, or Bruce Philie, either one of those, and just send me a message and I can connect you with whatever you need. And I
Do you
apologize.
have any
While,
recordings of these?
while you're looking for what you're looking for, Bruce, and not to interrupt the last question, the chat section for those that may not be here with us live, I just wanted to read some of these things because it's so beautiful what people are writing. Someone said, thanks so much for sharing such a personal experience. It's really awesome to see that you've been able to use that energy and found it to help others and turn it around to serve various communities, ours included. Someone said that they are like so excited. What did they say? Oh, sorry. I had to scroll down. It was so relaxing. I've never experienced anything that sweet and peaceful. That felt so great. I'm so at peace and back in my body. Like, just so great, Bruce. And I wanted to just, while you're looking for what you're looking for, the piece that you mentioned, which is so critical about not wanting your wife to see somebody else because you were afraid that boxes would just be checked, is such a powerful statement, because we all in this community have been through a lot of different providers' hands, and we all have been a box that's been checked on a number of occasions, and you feel that when you're a person. And when you put the care truly in healthcare, whether it's complementary care or Western medicine, it really makes a difference in the spirit of someone and the healing of someone. So that was just a powerful thing I wanted to highlight. And the other piece is, a lot of folks have barriers to hypnotherapy, and the ones that I can think of readily are not finding a good provider. Well, we've just smashed that barrier for you because Bruce is available virtually, so you can get in touch with him. Getting to appointments, again, not a problem, because now we understand that you can do this kind of thing virtually. We all just felt the impact of that virtually. And then funding. And I wanted to let you guys know that Less Leg More Heart doesn't want finances to be a barrier for people getting the support and the care that they need to live their best life and have their quality of life improved. So if you're somebody that feels that this kind of work could help you in your life, if you're not already associated with our organization, please go to our contact section and fill out the amputee in need form and just put a description, interested in hypnotherapy or whatever it may be, so you can get in our queue, because we don't want that to be a reason that you suffer. So the last thing I'll mention too, before I give it back to you, Bruce, is that the fourth time you'll know that it doesn't work statement, that's really nice, because how many of us have tried therapies over and over, and we've wasted tons of time and we've wasted tons of money, and we don't necessarily get a great outcome. It's kind of nice to have a short end in sight to know whether it is or isn't going to be a therapeutic modality. Like, the time and money savings there for me is a pretty significant way to look at it like an opportunity. So just my 2 cents, but I'll give it back, Bruce. Thank you.
No, I appreciate those words, and I thank you for reading the chat. I missed it. I'm hoping I'll have a chance to look at that. Guys, what I really love about this is that I'd say about 70% of the people that I've seen so far have come back for something else on their own, just because it worked so well for them in one thing that they've decided to use it in another part of their life. And I'll show you one thing right now. There's one person that I've helped. She had experienced a problem for 17 years. And, she sends me a letter once a month to let me know that how thankful she is that her life has improved. And she's very emotional about it. It makes me emotional too. But so yeah, I hope that maybe I'll be able to help you guys. I do want to share, if you can see the screen right now, I think you guys can probably see it. So next month, for the month of November, I'm going to be doing this thing again. This is going to be free to anybody that's interested. So please send me your email if you're interested. And if I get a sense that more people would like the time to be a little bit different, I'll try to work with that. I do work, obviously, like I said, another full-time job, but at nights, what I'd like to do for the month of November, again, this is just to see how people like it. It's going to be almost a beginning meditation class, and there's going to be a multitude of meditations. So if this kind of worked for you tonight, or you think you might even want to experience the meditation part of it, let me know, and I'll send out a Zoom link so you guys can all be part of that. And what my goal is, Mondays and Wednesdays will be meditation, and then Friday will be a group hypnotherapy session, kind of like what we just did. And I'll do that for 1 month. And the only thing I ask is, if you decide to come to this class, I would appreciate feedback, and just to let me know if something is working, if you think I should change it, or if it's worthy to have it for the community in general. So yeah, please reach out if that's something that you might be interested in.
Bruce, I wanted to just mention, I put the email for you in the chat, bphilie at silencesummit.com, for those that don't have the chat that's watching this after. And then I also got another comment I wanted to share with you. Just said she felt like a melting puddle, and the mountain was so realistic. It's so true. I can relate. I was melting literally off my seat. So yes, that's his email there. And I wanted to just also mention that I definitely, Bruce, want to be there. That made me jello. The only limiting factor for me is toddler non-compliance. So I'm going to work on having to follow the rules. But I'm, in the sake of time, you guys, we have about 5 minutes left, and I wanted to just make sure that if anyone has a pressing question, they get an opportunity to ask the expert. Unfortunately, given the time frame, we're not going to have a time to have discussion back and forth. But if you have direct questions that you want to ask Bruce, please use this time to do so. No?
All right.
That's exciting. Well, guys, I'm so grateful that you're here. I want to make sure that I get a group photo for all the things. So what I'm going to do is, if you can stop sharing, Bruce, everyone make sure that you get the email out of the chat if you're interested. And once Bruce stops screen sharing, I'm going to take a screenshot. And what I like to do in Heart to Heart, if you haven't been here, is I hold up half of my hand heart, and then you all hold up your half of the hand heart, and then we take a photo, and it lives in infamy. Does that all sound okay, guys? All right. So I'm going to count it down. You ready? Let's get your hearts up and smile. 3, 2, fun. Thank you so much, guys. So every second Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, if you guys know a cool topic, something you want to learn more about, and or if you have a professional that you know brings value to the community, please have them email me, tina@lesslegmoreheart.com. Follow us on YouTube. That's where you'll find the recording of this meeting and all prior recordings of both this and my TV series that I run that Bruce was recently on. And we hope that you continue to join us and continue to spread the word about this safe space for us to learn as a group. So honored that you guys showed up tonight. And Bruce, thank you so much for helping us all learn to just find ourselves and simmer the boiling pot.
Thank you, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night. Thank you.